Hi everyone. Today we are going to be still working with area, but we're going to add in the perimeter of polygons on the coordinate plane. So could you take a moment? This is very similar to the last lesson, finding the area. Remember, the area is the in-between, and so for this one you're going to have to break it into two pieces, add them together, but also go back and figure out how much fencing she would need. So the perimeter all the way around, all the way around. Okay, so pause and see what you can come up with. All right, let's see how you did. So I figured the area first, and notice how I'm labeling the different parts. So show your work clearly, don't just use chicken scratch. I want to see your process. So the first thing I did with area is I divided the shape into two rectangles. So I'm going to be using the formula A equals LW for both of them. And I figured the dimensions, so 7 and 4, and 6 and 8. And so I showed my expression 7 times 4 plus 6 times 8. Added those together to get my total area. And then I went with perimeter. This is my expression, 13 times 2 plus 8 times 2, because this is 13 and this is 13. And then this is 8 and these two 4's put together are 8. So the total perimeter is this 13 plus this 13 and this 8 plus this 8, which is 42 units. Remember, area is units squared and perimeter is units. For this problem, we are just focusing on the area of the polygon. So it says to calculate the area in two different ways, and then write two expressions to represent the two methods, and compare the structure of the expressions. So I'm going to have us do two different ways and then compare. All right, the first way, I'm going to break up this polygon into different pieces and add those pieces together. So if I divide there and there, now I have a rectangle here that I can see the dimensions, and I have two triangles that I can see the dimensions. Here's my base and here's the height. So I'm going to show my work like this. So area of a rectangle, area equals length times width. I'm going to find my length and width. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 times 4 is 24. I'm going to go to the first triangle, this one right here. My base is going to be 6, my height is 2. So triangle 1, the area is base times height divided by 2. So 6 times 2 divided by 2, which is 6. So 12 divided by 2. And I'm adding that to my original. Then we're going to go to the other one. So this one right here. And it too has the dimensions of 6 times 2. So 6 and 2. So triangle 2 is base times height divided by 2. So 6 times 2 divided by 2 is 6. And again, we're adding that together. So here is my expression, and then I simplified it here. So that gives me 36 units squared. Okay, so for this expression, I took the different pieces, different parts, and added them together. For the next way, I'm going to put a box around the whole shape, like we had to do with some of them on the last lesson, and I'm going to figure the area of that rectangle, because then I'm going to take pieces away. So this box, the dimensions are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to do this down here. So my box, the area is length times width. So I am going to do 6 times 8 is 48. And then I am going to find the area of this and take it away. So this is this triangle, the dimensions are 3 and 2. And if we look, all of our corners are 3 and 2. So I have my triangles, area is base times height divided by 2. So I'm going to do 3 times 2 divided by 2, but there's 4 of them. Now instead of adding like we did with the first one, instead of adding we are going to subtract because we're taking these pieces away. We're taking them away because they're not part of the shape that we want. So I'm going to subtract 3 times 2 is 6 divided by 3 is 3 times 4 because there's 4 of them. So 48 minus 12 equals 36 units squared. So the directions said to do it 2 different ways, which we did, and compare. So they are the same. I'm not going to write this out, but I would like you to. When it says compare the structure, here we started with a big piece and took the smaller pieces away, so a big shape, and took the smaller shapes away, where here we started with smaller shapes and added them together. So that's what it means by comparing the structure. One we're taking smaller pieces away, the other we're adding pieces in. Alright, this is very similar to our warm-up. It says determine the area and the perimeter. If you're watching the video, I'd like you to pause now and see if you can do this on your own, and then come back and check your work. Alright, let's see how you did, how we compare. So here I started with my area first. They were rectangles, so my area formula is length times width. So I split them here. If you split it this way, that's completely fine. It does not matter either way. So your work might be a little different numbers, but I still want to see your process. So I did this little guy right here first, 4 by 4, so that was 16, and I added to it this big guy up here, 6 times 10, which is 60, added those together. Now notice that if you are looking at my work, you see my thought process. This is how I want you to write your work. These numbers might be different, but this answer should still be the same, unless I did a calculation error. Then I went to perimeter. I finished writing in my, made a mistake. I finished writing in almost. I need to go back and fix this now. I forgot that 4 right there. And so I had one more 4, so it is 40 units. So it's a good thing I came back to this, double checked. So here's 10 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6. So I did 3 times 6, and I should have done 3 times 4 and then added in the 10. So I came up with 40 units. What about you? Alright, that's it for this lesson. Make sure you check your work, just like me. If you're thinking of other things, you might make a small error like this. So make sure you check your work, and make sure you're showing your work in a way that I can read it. Alright, we out.